50th City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation, and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
Please come down, Amy. First talk at the club, huge round of applause. Always delighted to have a female talker, lady talker.
Thank you, Ren. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. How y'all feeling today? Are you ready to be successful? Are you ready to know what success actually is and how to do it every single time? And are you ready to know that you already know that you know? And you're never going to be able to forget this. Once you know, you're doomed. You're doomed to success. Okay, so what is success? Who can tell me what success means?
Getting to our age.
Getting to your age. Okay, all right. Give me another one. Tell me what it means. Tell me what, George.
150 grand a year in your pocket.
Okay, cool. All right. Ren.
Having a goal and achieving that goal.
Having a goal and achieving that goal. All right, pretty cool there. All right, yes, sir.
Being content.
Being content, beautiful. Other Daryl, redhead Daryl.
Being happy with yourself.
Being happy with yourself, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for that. So Ren got closest to it, although you were all demonstrating how success shows up for you. It is the intentional achievement of a stated goal. At the end of the day, that's it. So guess what? The DNA of success is baked into your DNA. It's baked into your DNA. How many of you, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you right now, and it may seem like magic, but it's not. How many of you, raise your hands if you were conceived? All right, raise your hands if you think aliens dropped you under a rock, or if that's what your mother told you. All right, cool. Raise your hands if you were born. Huh? You came out of mama somehow and you showed up as a baby. All right, beautiful. So most of you were born. You were successful at that. That's cool. Some of you may have done this another way. Raise your hands if you went from crawling to walking. Yeah? Y'all went from crawling to walking. So if you think you were successful or not, you are. Everything you're doing, you're wired for success. So a really good friend of mine back in the US named Shane Loftman, who's been working with the system for a while, studying this, said, how do we take all these great trainings and formulas and break it down into a simple mathematical system? And he did. And he called it FQ3C. It's so fundamental. Shane and I talked about it, and I said, Shane, this is older than dirt. In fact, you can pretty much trace it back and say, God used FQ3C to create everything, and he was like, duh, you're right, totally. So FQ3C stands for frequency, quality, consistency, continuity, and clarity. Frequency, how often? How many times? What do you go to most? Quality, that which is perceived as good or valuable by the receiver, which could be you, or it could be your client, your customer, your family member. Consistency, are you walking your talk? Are you in alignment with that? Continuity, is it coming from internal, in your heart, and showing up externally in what you do? And clarity, do you know this so well in your deep down of yourself? It's like looking into a pool of water and you say, there's nothing more I can see. There's no farther I can go with this. I know. That's your clarity. You can take these 5 variables and we put them into 12 different combinations working with both internal and external. Your internal frequency, your internal quality, your internal consistency, your internal continuity, your internal clarity, and how does that, and also from your outside, how does that work on the outside? And we take these 5 variables, put them into 12 combinations, not unlike a DNA strand or like a map, and always can do 2 things. 1, score the probability of your outcome from the get-go, and then track and map empirically, statistically, how you get to success. The beauty of this is that, how many of you are teaching right now, doing teaching or coaching of any kind, or have in the past? Beautiful. Okay, so this system dovetails into anything you want to do. Well, right now, the FQ3C team is partnering with doctors and psychologists in the United States, clinicians, psychologists. They're using this as a metric for their counselors and therapists to say, finally, we've got something that's going to make sure that we're tracking effectively what people can do, what people are doing. So you have it baked in you to be successful. You are successful all the time. When you were born, when you walk, when you get up, when you came to expats today, you said, I want to come to expats, and you did what you needed to do to come to expats. You're successful. Your ability to be successful, your innate success, is the same as an executive at a Fortune 50 company, an NBA star, an Olympic gold medal athlete, a billionaire, Bill Gates, Elon. Your ability and your capacity for success is the same as Elon Musk's. Don't sell yourself short on that. Don't sell yourself short. When you're starting a project of any kind, there is an assessment that you can use that'll give you a baseline. Usually we find statistically, when you're first getting started, you got about a 30 to 40% chance of success. And then it can only go up from there. It can only go up from there, based on assessing how frequently, the quality of your effort, how consistent you are with your effort, the continuity of your effort, and the clarity of your intention. Now, of course, it doesn't work as well if you don't have that clearly defined goal. So in some ways, you see where you've got to take, this formula is not linear. It flows. It flows. Again, it flows like a map. It flows like DNA. And we have to say, okay, I start with a goal. I start with something I know I want to do. Now, I used to work in nonprofit and small business development. And I was using this formula even though I didn't know I was using it, which goes back again to, I knew it and I didn't know that I knew it. And then when I found out that I knew it, I was like, duh, I know this. I know this already. And I would say to the folks I was working with who had a vision for how to help our community, solve a problem, start a business or whatever, but especially in the NGO nonprofit sector, the charity sector, I'd say, stand in the future 3 years, pretend everything is as you want it to be. Tell me what you see. And the first thing they'd have to do, I'd say, if you can't answer that, then the first thing you need to do is go brainstorm, write it, film it, sing it, draw it. Whatever creative process gets it out of your head and where everyone else can step in and see your vision so you can build a community around that. And then your next step is to say, what does it take for me to be obsolete, for my organization to become obsolete? So we had to start with a clearly stated goal. And preferably, we translate that into a SMART goal. So you have to have at least some form of that at first. So those of you who said things like, George, and you were talking about a certain amount of money, right? So say that again, please. Okay, 135,000 baht a month. That is a clearly stated goal. Now, if we were to use FQ3C with his system, and George has got a strong degree of success with this, I know personally that he does. He has a lot of expertise and some good systems in place that he uses. But he would have to go into, okay, and what is my SMART goal version of that? How do I get there? But we could sit down with him and apply and map out with this formula how he gets to that 135,000 baht a month. And you map that out and you apply your own individual strengths and qualities and gifts to that, and odds are anybody in this room could successfully do that or the equivalent of that in whatever is of value to you. Whatever is of value to you. So, Brad, can you go on ahead and throw up my slide, please? There we go. All right. So this is it. This is my PowerPoint, people. Ta-da! FQ3C. It's your success tracking mechanism using 12 variables and 5 formulas that ensure you achieve your goal sooner than you have ever thought you could do, every thought you could imagine. And to get to your destination, you need to know where you are now, right? Where you have been, where you're going, and where you want to go. The FQ3 system will put you in the driver's seat, and it tracks your success variables. Yeah, where are you now and where are you going? And yes, Davey, I will throw the karaoke in now. I'm reminded of the great Cleo Lane song, I know where I'm going, and I know who's going with me. Okay, if you want to give this a try, click that QR code. That QR code right there is going to get you to the FQ3C website, and you can check it out for yourself. You can take the free assessment. Just give it a test drive and see if it works for you. If anybody struggles with things like how to write a goal that works, especially if you are a highly creative right-brainer who couldn't strategically strategize your way out of a paper bag, I can help you with that. Give me a holler. But try it out. Try it out. There's some amazing resources there. There's a great book. There's a workbook. It's well worth looking into for yourself, maybe your grandchildren, your children, any project that you've got going. You can score it, you can track it, you can create metrics, and you can achieve a whole nother level of success with this system. It blends with anything that you've got going on now, and it's like magic, but better, because it's already in you, but you're magical anyway. Thank you, and I'm here for any questions.
Any questions? I have a question, because I've been pretty goal-oriented in my life, and I was on track. I put together, for instance, a property syndicate for development in Western Australia, and I thought, the only thing that can stop me making like tens of millions of dollars out of this is the collapse of the world economy. 2008, the world economy collapsed, right? So how does, this is what I call the law of timing. Timing can turn against you. And I warned investors about this. I said, you know, volcanic eruptions, unpredictable things that can, so where does that tie, that sort of consideration about timing tie in with FQ3C?
Okay, so there are a few things where the system actually doesn't apply, honestly. It doesn't apply to plain old crazy luck. I mean, things can just happen. You walk in and you pull the winning lottery ticket. It's just plain serendipitous luck. It also doesn't work quite as well in the immediate moment with any kind of a catastrophic circumstance beyond your control. You know, Hurricane Helene, 2008 crash. Although that one, if you were paying attention to what was going on and some of the warning signs, you would be able to apply this system and pivot if you had the option to pivot on that or to do something else. You could apply this strategy. You could say, okay, I see what's coming. If you could, if the circumstances allowed. I see what's coming. I see where I'm at. I'm going to go get some information to increase my clarity so that I can assess what my options are and define my goal and adjust from there. So that would be, and I'm using that intentionally, Diane and Dawn. That would be a situation where the FQ3C system could apply, even though it was a catastrophic circumstance that was beyond your daily control. So in those situations, this does not work, except for the fact that you can apply what you already know about how you are successful, take your strengths in the moment, and adapt and work with it that way. I did have a situation once a long time ago in my life where I was doing a deep water scuba dive in the coast of California with my dive partner. And we got into an emergency situation. We got out alive and we got out uninjured. In hindsight, I could see how the FQ3C system, how it was wired in me and it was wired in my dive partner to keep us calm and get us up out of there, using our training to get us up out of danger. And we were in incredible danger, especially my dive partner. He was in grave danger. So you can use it to apply. But that, Rand, would be how you would have adapted that had you known. That could have been how you could adapt. That was your possibility for how you could have used it in that situation.
Yeah, I tried to adapt and improvise.
Yeah.
I tried to be a Marine, adapt and improvise, but
some of it you're
sometimes
just
you're in
not.
Circumstances that you just cannot adapt and improvise.
You can't.
Around.
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
Natural disasters.
JJ's got a question.
Yes, sir.
It's not really a question. It's just in my mind, anything that I've always wanted to accomplish, it was always back in the back of my mind somewhere. And the biggest thing for me was motivation. Motivation. When I was motivated to accomplish something, that was the big thing right there.
That goes to the internal FQ3C. You're absolutely right. You've got to want it. You've got to want it. You've got to have the internal alignment and the external expression. That's the mathematical version of this. What you do to one side of the equation, so you must do to the other.
I think we might be out of questions, but
That's
interestingly, I used to teach dancing in Australia, Sarok, and talk about frequency. One of the things I used to always say to all the students was, you have to do at least 2 classes a week if you want to improve. And I'll give a talk on my dancing career, but also I got to a stage in my dancing when I thought, I started to sort of be bored with classes. So instead of doing less, I did more. I went back to beginner's class, not just to the intermediate, and I really looked at the beginner's move, how do I make this better and more stylish and stuff. And because of that, new vistas opened up to me and I ended up choreographing and teaching and winning championships and stuff. So just that item of frequency, you have a think about that if you want to be fitter or something, if you have any goal about health and fitness, just take any one of those, but especially perhaps look at the issue of frequency.
Yes, and then you applied quality right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the quality of your talk. And
Thank you very much. And a very quick shout out. I want to thank our new Pattaya City Toastmasters group. If you all would stand up or give us a show of hands, my Toastmasters compatriots. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you all. This is a great group to practice and try out your speaking and conversational skills. So, Dawn, thank you so much for leading the way on that.
Yeah, quickly, Dawn, just to give Toastmasters a plug. Round of applause for Amy.
Are you folks getting tired of